buyers have largely vanished from the market as mortgage interest rates have risen, making buying a home substantially more expensive. They can no longer afford to close on a property, not because they don't want to, though. Home sales are declining, home values are declining, and the number of properties for sale is growing. However, some real estate areas are defying the gloom that has recently engulfed the housing market. There are a few metropolises where sales and prices are expected to rise more the following year. These markets are quite reasonably priced. The COVID-19 pandemic housing craze over the past 2 years did not cause these locations to overheat. They are now in a better position as a result. There is still room for prices and sales to rise. So here are the top real estate markets to dominate next year. Number 1. Hartford, Connecticut. The slump in nearly every other housing market hasn't affected Hartford. The state capital of Connecticut has seen home prices rise, while the number of homes for sale has decreased. Connecticut is located about 2.5 hours northeast of New York City and 90 minutes southwest of Boston. The insurance capital of the world was listed as one of the country's hottest markets in October. Aetna, the Hartford, and Cigna are just a few of the organizations with regional headquarters. Homes are still receiving multiple offers and going for more than the asking price. However, instead of 20 to 30 offers per property before selling for 20% over the list price, now homes are receiving about 3 to 5 offers. Median home list price in November, $372,400. Price change in 2023, 8.5%. Sales change in 2023, 6.5%. Number 2. El Paso, Texas. The American Army's Fort Bliss is located in El Paso, which is located at the westernmost point of Texas, close to the border with Mexico. The local housing market has remained active, thanks to the ongoing mobility of contractors, connected businesses, and service providers. According to Realtor.com, more than half of individuals who looked at El Paso listings were from states outside than Texas. Outside of the metro area made up 2/3 of the customers. Listings received the most out-of-area views from Phoenix, Dallas, and Salt Lake City. In the city, about 40% of buyers paid cash for their properties. 24.2% of those who used loans did so from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. The VA loans are appealing, since buyers don't need to put any money down and frequently qualify for lower interest rates on their mortgages. Median home list price in November, $290,500. Price change in 2023, 5.4%. Sales change in 2023, 8.9%. Number 3. Louisville, Kentucky. A significant manufacturing hub has recently arisen in the state's largest city, which is also the site of the Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Fried Chicken. These jobs, together with the affordable housing and cost of living, have made it a desirable location for homeowners. Realtor.com data shows that over half of individuals looking at houses in the area came from other states. For those seeking additional space, the region offers some of the least expensive homes in the country. Although that has decreased as prices and mortgage rates have increased, it was also well liked by investors during the pandemic. Median home list price in November, $290,000. Price change in 2023, 8.4%. Sales change in 2023, 5.2%. Number 4. Worcester, Massachusetts. Long considered a vastly less expensive alternative to Boston's exorbitant cost, Worcester, due to the cheaper house prices. Both investors and families with limited resources like visiting this area. Houses in the Boston area, roughly an hour to the east, were significantly more expensive at $739,900. Since mortgage rates soared up, the market has, however, cooled down from its peak. Many people find it financially impossible to become homeowners in the area as a result of the higher rates and high housing prices. Furthermore, fewer people are moving here from other parts of the nation. Number 5. Buffalo, New York. The northern New York City, which is located on the Canadian side of Lake Erie, has been slowly making its way back up. The once dominant manufacturing hub struggled after factories shut down, but a regeneration effort has been ongoing for years. The pandemic gave it a boost as more people who could work remotely came back to the area. The quantity of properties for sale decreased, while prices skyrocketed, similar to the rest of the nation. Homes are staying on the market longer, and sellers are lowering prices, giving the impression that the real estate market is now returning to a more normal state. Prices in the metropolitan area typically increase by 3% to 5% yearly. It will return to the moderate price increases we used to see a few years ago, not the large jumps. Median home list price in November, $239,000. Price change in 2023, 6%. Sales change in 2023, 6.3%. Number 6. Augusta, Georgia. Augusta, about 2 hours east of Atlanta on the border of South Carolina, is known to Lynxmen as the home of the Masters Tournament. It's also where Fort Gordon and the U.S. Army Cyber Center of Excellence is based. Augusta's lower prices and the turnover generated from the U.S. Army installation are expected to keep the local real estate market busy. More than a third, 35.5%, of all purchases in the area were all cash. Nearly a quarter, 23%, were VA loans. VA loans don't require a down payment. Median home list price in November, $318,900. Price change in 2023, 5.7%. Sales change in 2023, 6.2%. Number 7. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Grand Rapids, a Midwestern city famed for its brewing industry and located just east of Lake Michigan, had a boom during the pandemic, as more local college graduates chose to stay in the area, and residents who had grown up nearby and could now work remotely returned. However, rising mortgage rates forced many buyers to put their purchases on hold. This is starting to change as many parents of adult children relocate to Grand Rapids in order to be nearer to their grandchildren. Many people buy completely cash or put down sizable amounts of money in order to have minimal monthly mortgage payments. Median home list price in November, $358,300. Price change in 2023, 10%. Sales change in 2023, 1.6%. Number 8. Columbia, South Carolina. The University of South Carolina is situated in the state capital of South Carolina, which is also close to a base of operations. Fort Jackson, a nearby facility, trains around half of all soldiers. The university, military base, and cheaper property prices have all contributed to the continued strength of the housing market. According to data from Realtor.com, 15.8% of all acquisitions in the metro were done using FHA loans, while 14.5% of them were made with VA loans. Large homes are still available for purchase at fair prices. Median home list price in November, $300,400. Price change in 2023, 3.6%. Sales change in 2023, 7.7%. Number 9. Chattanooga, Tennessee. The Tennessee city's downtown has recently undergone a revitalization that has helped it to draw startups and other tech companies. It is located about 2 hours southeast of Nashville. The metro, which is the smallest on the list, is well known for its outdoor lifestyle and is a favorite among mountain climbers and bass fishermen. For people seeking additional square footage, the location has become appealing due to the cheaper real estate costs there. There are several spacious, cheap properties for sale there. In Chattanooga, 35% of home sales involved only cash. Median home list price in November, $396,500. Price change in 2023, 8.2%. Sales change in 2023, 2.9%. Number 10. Toledo, Ohio. Toledo, about an hour south of Detroit on the banks of Lake Erie, is the cheapest housing market on the list. Those low prices have lured out-of-state buyers and investors to the Midwestern auto and glass manufacturing city. It's slowed down since the rush. However, there are still buyers out here. About 35.2% of purchases in the metro are all cash. Out-of-state buyers are in search of lower-priced properties, and locals are realizing it might be cheaper to pay a mortgage than their rent every month, so they're jumping into the market. There are now more homes for sale in the Toledo metro area to choose from, but many buyers are struggling with high inflation, rising rents, and soaring mortgage rates. Median home list price in November, $161,100. Price change in 2023, 6.7%. Sales change in 2023, 4.2%.